Hello everyone, Toriel Protector here with a special video. Today we are going to be reading a fanfic that I have created, and this fanfic is based on the indie game that I am currently doing a let's play on, Undertale. And if you guys want to check it out, go to my playlist on Undertale on my channel and watch my videos and such. Also, yeah, new background, Mega Man Battle Network, because I'm a Mega Man fan. But reason why I started making this fanfic was because before I started playing the game, before I even considered playing the game, I've been hearing a lot about Undertale and such through the fan base, and despite how crazy they are, I looked up pictures on Google and found a lot of emotional looking pictures of Toriel, and as I looked through each of the pictures, I started getting ideas for like stories and stuff. So I decided to start writing it down, and now I'm interested to see how things will go, because I have some interesting scenes in my head, and this will definitely help me in branching out my main story, because I'm having a little trouble visualizing the area of my main story, but with this it's giving me more of an insight, I guess that's the right word. But anyway, let's begin. Toriel's Lament by Toriel Protector. This was started in January 11th, 2016. The intro. As Toriel faced her child with heartache, she forced on a smile and held back her tears as best she could. Be good, won't you, my child? She placed a paw over her broken heart and continued to smile. Starting from her head, Toriel slowly dissipated into nothing. As this was happening, her child, who had slain her, stared at her, wondering if this was the right thing to do. Toriel said the only way to pass through was to prove yourself, but the child didn't feel accomplished. There was no sense of reward or joy. Instead, the child felt horribly confused. Tears formed and traveled down the child's face as the realization came. Toriel could have lived. If the child had listened then, Toriel wouldn't be fading away right now. They could have lived a good life. It wouldn't have been much, but what Toriel had was the love of a mother. And the child just destroyed the chance of love for freedom. But with freedom came sorrow and regret. All of a sudden, the child bolted after Toriel, arms stretched out in the hope of saving her. When the child grabbed hold of Toriel's hand, it crumbled away and the child formed a fist. A cry of agony came next from the child as he was forced to watch the remains of Toriel disappear. He begged for everything to stop. This wasn't what he wanted, but the last thing he heard was Toriel's words as she continued to smile despite her pain. Be good, won't you, my child? Chapter 1. Floating in a dark void, Toriel contemplated her final moments with her child. Was I too rash? She asked herself. Could it all have been avoided? She continued questioning herself for what would seem like an eternity until a ripple of light formed. It produced an odd warmth. One Toriel was not familiar with, but what came next frightened her. An arm slowly crept its way and reached out to Toriel. Grabbing hold of her hand, Toriel was reeled in. She closed her eyes as the light was too much for her to handle. Seconds later, she heard a faint voice. Can hear me. Forcing her eyes open, Toriel saw a shadowy being hovering over her. I think unconscious, said the being as Toriel was lifted up and carried off to who knows where. She blacked out seconds later and woke up in the bed with a creature sitting next to her. At first it appeared human, but Toriel noticed a pair of gray wings, along with a dark blue coat and a horse-like face with brown eyes and shaggy-like hair. This horse-like creature was lost in thought as it rubbed its face with worry. How much longer? Said the creature with a seemingly deep voice. From what Toriel could gather, this appeared to be a male horse. A stallion, if she's correct. Toriel knew many things with being a magic user and all, but aside from gender identification, what she didn't know was what this creature was waiting for, though it should be obvious. Is everything alright? She uttered weakly. Pointing ears that were on top of the stallion's head sprang up as the creature looked over to Toriel. You're awake, he said with joy as he turned his body around and helped Toriel sit up. You feeling okay? He asked cautiously. I found you on the floor in Death's Forest all beat up. Your wounds are minor, but I couldn't just leave you there. It would have destroyed my well-being. The stallion smiled as he openly blushed. How kind of you, Toriel groaned as she rubbed her lower left side, which had been bandaged up. I hope I didn't give you much of a scare. Well, I'm not in tears or anything, boasted the stallion playfully as he examined how Toriel gripped her side. That bandage too tight or anything? He asked. Wound's a bit tender still, Toriel explained. Fret not, though. You did a good job fixing me up. That's good, sighed the stallion exhaustedly as he brought his arms out to stretch. I've been watching you all day, so I'm kind of stiff. His wings opened up and flapped a few times before closing as the stallion began to relax. Hope that didn't bother you or anything, he muttered with relief. Not at all, Toriel replied as she began to notice something off about the stallion. She could have put her finger on it, but she felt like she knew this being. Can you tell me your name? She asked suspiciously as she grew a little uneasy. The stallion could easily see the change in Toriel's demeanor. He inched back a little as a precaution before responding. Cerulean Protector. What's your name? Toriel, caretaker of the underground ruins. Where am I? Toriel demanded. Underground ruins? Cerulean repeated quietly with confusion. You're in Lost Hope, a village of rejects, he explained. This is the most dangerous realm, aside from the Dragon Realm. The Dragon Realm, as the name says, is a world full of dragons. No one dares enter such a realm as it's complete suicide. Even the most skilled fear the name as they can only cower at the might of a dragon. Lost Hope, Toriel said quietly as she examined the room she was in and noticed how depressing it looked. The walls were crumbling away with holes all around. The ceiling looked unstable as well as the bed she was in. The blankets were nothing but stitched pieces of cloth that had all lost their color and now resemble a lifeless gray, much like the stallion's wings. Seems like a fitting place for a monster like me, she mumbled. Maybe this is my punishment for forcing my child to fight. Cerulean couldn't help but to question what had happened to Toriel before coming here. Who was this child and what did she do? Hey, can you stand? He asked. I figured we could go on a walk, show you around and whatnot. Cerulean really wanted to get out of the house. He's been cooped up in this bedroom all day and desperately needed fresh air. Maybe it's best I stay put until these wounds recover, Toriel suggested before her mouth burst open with blood. Oh my, she groaned as she gripped her side painfully. Crap. Cerulean reached under the bed and pulled out a bottle containing a red liquid. Drink this, he instructed as he forced the bottle into Toriel's mouth before tilting her head so the red liquid could go down easily. Wait, Toriel pleaded. She reeled back at the foul taste the liquid produced as she coughed some of it out. At least a warning, she complained before settling down. Cerulean eyed Toriel cautiously for a moment. He waited for any side effects but sighed with relief as nothing happened, aside from the coughing. Thank God that worked, he said quietly. Sometimes these health potions kind of messed you up if the creator wasn't careful enough. You don't say, Toriel grumbled as she felt the pain ease away. She cleared her throat and took in a calming breath. Thank you. I feel better now, but if you wish to go outside, do not let me stop you. I'll just rest here for the time being. Alright. Cerulean looked unsure, but was already at the door. I'll be back soon. I'm going to get some more potions for later, so hang tight. He opened the door and closed it on his way out. Toriel was alone now, which was fine by her since she had enough excitement for now. I suppose I should make myself at home. She laid back down carefully and sighed deeply. Be strong, my child. I only wish for the safest journey for you. May you never forget that I will always love you. Be strong, won't you, my child? Her eyes closed shut on their own and she was fast asleep seconds later. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. A little rough reading it, but this is my first time. Though it should sound better whenever I edit the video. But let me know what you guys think. I know I wasn't too deep into the voice acting, but I was trying to read it normally and I kind of stuttered a bit. The voice for Toriel didn't really come through, so I guess I gotta like learn when to get into character when their part comes up. But anyway, leave a like and comment if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to help my channel grow, let me know what you think of this video, and give me some tips on voice acting and whatnot. Voice acting, voiceover, whatever you want to call it. Like, give me some ideas on how to be better prepared, or how I can make my voice sound more like Toriel. Because to me, I feel like Toriel has a soft and subtle voice, because she's like a mother, basically. But anyway, I would appreciate the help greatly, and I appreciate it that you guys took the time to listen to this. So until then, see you guys later, and thank you.